Good evening, everyone, and welcome to News of the Inner Sphere. I'm Notice, your UrbanMech anchorman. It is the year 3007, and the Wolf's Dragoons are kicking ass and taking names. We start off with a lot of action this year on the Davian-Liao border, where the Wolf's Dragoons are busy making the Capellan Confederation their bitch. The CCAF, after going, "Who the fuck are these people and why are they owning us?" is scratching their heads in confusion while scrambling to counter this new threat. Archibald Mechwarrior, the young new commander of Mechwarrion's armored cavalry under the employ of House Liao, feels compelled to do something. His solution? Attacking the Wolf's Dragoons base on New Valencia in February, with all 5 regiments of his unit. The goal was to crush the 3 regiments of the Dragoons who were currently on the planet. Despite having superior numbers, Mechwarrior would soon hit the proverbial brick wall. The Dragoons established an effective defensive perimeter against the cavalry, safeguarding their primary support personnel and dependents while making effective use of combined arms tactics. The cavalry, enraged at their inability to move forward, began trashing and looting the civilian city of Rathlin. War crimes typical of the CCAF mercenary unit were then abound as the cavalry then began executing civilians while searching for Dragoons personnel who were not there. This, understandably, pissed the Dragoons off and they attacked in force, driving the cavalry off of New Valencia with the help of the Eridani light horse. The civilians of Rathlin blamed the Dragoons for the cavalry's atrocities. After seeing the devastation himself, Jamie Wolfe ordered the Dragoons to start clearing the streets of debris and assisting in the rebuilding efforts themselves. This was an action that helped smooth things over and helped endear the Dragoons to the people of New Valencia, and, in time, things on the planet returned to normal. But the Dragoons were not done there, as the war crimes committed by the cavalry would not go unpunished. Later that month, the Dragoons repaid the visit by doing the same to the Mechwarrior base on Miniki. Jamie Wolfe sent his 7th Commando Special Forces in to engage in a campaign of sabotage and destruction before slipping away in the night unharmed. Archibald Mechwarrior was furious, both in losing to the Dragoons and then having his homeworld trashed by them. He was ready to go at them again, and it took a direct command from Chancellor Maximilian Liao himself to keep Mechwarrior from conducting any counterattacks on the Dragoons. In a surprising moment of clarity for him, Liao realized that Big Mac and his hot-headed troops would more than likely get themselves destroyed. A Chancellor exercising restraint and good thinking? Yeah, I was shocked by that too. The cavalry wouldn't be the only ones wanting retribution, however. Many elements within the Wolf's Dragoons wanted to grind the cavalry into dust for their unwarranted attack on their new home. Jamie Wolfe, however, put an end to this as he didn't want the events to continue to escalate between the 2 units. Meanwhile, the other 2 regiments of the Dragoons are busy elsewhere. In September, 1st Prince Ian Davian has the Gamma and Delta regiments strike into the Tortuga dominions to teach the pirates there a lesson. I mean, why not? He now has the most technologically advanced merc unit in the Inner Sphere to play with. The Dragoons land on the planet of New Haiti to attack the pirates under Lord Kevin Bar Dryness. The pirates, understandably, responded with, "Oh god, oh dear god, why are there so many battle mechs attacking us?" While the Delta Regiment held their attention, Gamma Regiment circled around the pirates' position in a pincer maneuver. Lord Bar Dryness managed to rally the pirates into an organized breakout so that they could live to pirate another day. It would be such a devastating blow that pirate activity within the Federated Suns would drop for the next few years. In December, the Dragoons' Epsilon Regiment landed on the Liao world of Ponzan to conduct a quick raid, just to keep the pressure up on the Capellan Confederation. This would be such an overwhelming success that it's hardly mentioned by either side, and the defending 2nd Ariana Fusiliers would sooner forget the incident than admit that they just had their asses handed to them. With his people falling all around him and being stacked like cordwood, Chancellor Maximilian Liao has gone on record as saying, "What unholy pact with demons has House Davian made?" He attempted a feeble counterattack in November by sending the St. Ives armored cavalry to Weekpog to attack the Dragoons stationed there. The Beta Regiment of the Dragoons, who transferred back there for garrison duty after helping reinforce New Valencia, kindly told them to fuck off. They took command of the key highway junctions and held them against wave after wave of Liao attacks. After admitting defeat, the armored cavalry would slink on back to St. Ives to rebuild. The fighting along the Davian-Liao border is not limited to mercenary action, however, as the AFFS Deneb Light Cavalry raids the Liao planet of New Hessian. They are promptly shown the error of their ways by the defending Ariana Grenadiers. While the Grenadiers' aerospace assets were pretty much inept and ineffective, it was the unit contingents of Panthers combined with assisting infantry that would carry the day for them. The Davian Deneb Light Cavalry bitterly complains about more Capellan fuckery on the way home to lick their wounds and try to salvage their pride at being beaten by Capellans. We now move on to politics within the Lyrian Commonwealth. After the special session last year, with the Estates General passing a vote of no confidence on Archon Alessandro Steiner, having lost the support of the Estates General, the public, the merchants, and the military, Alessandro was forced to retire in what was basically a coup d'etat. Katrina Steiner ascends to the throne in his place, saying, "The bastard shouldn't have tried to have me killed." On the planet of Crossing, with nothing but his archer and a smile, and under the pretense of being on hard times, Cranston Snord wins ownership of the mercenary outfit McFinney's Manglers in a poker game. This win comes with a dilapidated Union-class dropship, 2 functional battle mechs, 3 non-functional battle mechs, 1 operational aerospace fighter, 4 unusable aerospace fighters, and a mountain full of debris. Unfortunately, by this time, Snord was effectively broke, and so hired some skilled workers from the ranks of the dispossessed. He started to obtain spare parts through less than honest means, broke down the mechs and fighters that couldn't be brought back up to combat readiness, and sold off any surplus items that couldn't be used. In the end, 4 mechs and 2 fighters were brought up to be combat ready. The first order of business for the Manglers was to pay off the remaining large debt. House Merrick, who was their biggest creditor, were hiring every merc unit that they could get their hands on to bolster the Lyrian border. Snord agreed to 1 year of service in payment of their debts, being sent to the planet of Rochelle, something that Snord seemed all too eager to do for some odd reason. I don't know, maybe he caught wind of an SLDF handkerchief being there or something. The Lyrian Commonwealth Armed Forces soon came calling by invading the planet. In a long, slogging match that saw heavy casualties and entire mercenary commands being wiped out, the battle would be considered a draw despite both sides claiming victory. House Merrick wound up keeping the planet, but House Steiner also took a pounding in the process, so who's to say who really won here? Captain General Janos Merrick would then make his lawyers within the military start invoking vague and unclear salvage clauses. The reason being was to start confiscating the mechs and equipment that the mercenaries used in the fighting in order to rebuild the militia's damaged commands. This then led to an uprising that was led by the Manglers themselves, which culminated in a fighting escape off of the planet. Melvin McFinney, the former commander of the Manglers, was killed in the fighting, now leaving the small mercenary company firmly in Snord's hands. With McFinney now dead, the Snord's Irregulars were now born. When signing with the MRBC, Snord straight-faced told people, "No, I do not have any more ties to the Wolf's Dragoons, why do you ask?" even while still wearing one of their old uniforms. Okay, to be fair, he was drummed out of the unit and didn't have anything more than the clothes on his back and his mech when he left. Cranston Snord and his Irregulars would flee into Lyrian space, where they were welcomed with open arms by the newly installed Archon Katrina Steiner, who was impressed by their fighting on Rochelle. After an intense planning session, the Irregulars would be heading back into the Free Worlds League along with the 32nd Lyrian Guards to raid the planet of Denalis. While the guards were busy with the 21st Merrick Militia, the Irregulars went on salvaging missions looking for Star League-era musical instruments and a couple of derelict dropships that had been shot down over the planet's jungles. What he found was that the Merrick Militia happened to be using the dropships as their command center. Amid cries of "that belongs in a museum," Cranston Snord prevailed in defeating the militia command staff, capturing them, and getting the instruments that had been boxed up for shipment to the Merrick planet of Clinton. In completely unrelated news, in which I'm sure had nothing to do with the LCAF holding guns to their heads, the Free Worlds League announces that the 21st Merrick Militia is officially disbanded. In sports news, Van Daravivan unseats Phyllis Barnes as the Grand Champion of Solaris 7. And now on to the technology report. Callan Industries obtains the blueprints for the SLDF-era Exterminator stealth battle mechs. In related news, Commonstar bitches and complains about Star League-era lost tech in the hands of the private sector. Blackwell Heavy Industries enters into an exclusive agreement with the up-and-coming Wolf's Dragoons. Details are sketchy at this point, but our reporters have learned that Blackwell executives have been having wet dreams and are now starting to virtually print their own money with information and schematics that their Dragoons have supplied them. Only time will tell what will come out of their factories because of this. What does come out of Blackwell's factories this year is the release of the Kestrel Combat VTOL, which is an angry machine-toting air vehicle that is hard to hit thanks to stealth technology. At first glance, the Kestrel is nothing more than a flying target, as it can't even shrug off a hit from a large laser. However, when one looks deeper, it is a wicked little machine that can deliver a covert ops team to its target and extract them just as easily. Already, the Wolf's Dragoons has employed this measure. And that's the way it is in the Inner Sphere for this year. Join us next time as we go over the beginning rivalry between the Wolf's Dragoons and the Wicco Rangers. Thank you, and good night.